Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to be doing a tournament, the Turin Season Finals tournament. Let me just get this posted. Uh-huh. And every game will be a best of three until the finals, which are a best of five. I will probably be a little quieter today because gotta focus, and right now we're doing picks and bans. So there'll be long periods of quiet, probably. So hopefully that's not too boring. Trying to pick what matchup we play. Okay, so the matchup I'm gonna be playing either he will be playing Wood Elves and I'll be playing either Demons of Chaos or Dwarves. Probably just put the blocker on now before I forget later. And I didn't say it already, but the we'll be we'll be doing both the round one and round two. Even if I lose, we'll still follow somebody into round two. So knowing that my opponent is going to be playing Wood Elves, I'm not sure which of the two matchups I'm more worried about. I've got ideas in both Wood Elves and Dwarves into Wood Elves and Demons of Chaos into Wood Elves. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Just waiting for Tim. Tim can take up to 5 minutes for picking factions sometimes. Um, I'll message him and ask him to make picks a little faster if he's taking 5 minutes per round of picks. But I'll give him a little bit of time this first time. He's gone for Wood Elf Doc. Played this matchup recently on stream, so I'm kind of curious to see if he would have seen that match. But I recently found out like a new cool tech in that I hadn't noticed before. So hopefully I can pull something off here, something fun. Hey Jim Bambu. The first match is Demons of Chaos versus Wood Elves. Chaos versus Wood Elves. Yeah, I did. Jim Bambu, it depends if you're talking to Tim or not. If you're not talking to Tim, then I'll probably be fine, even if he beats me. It's still okay. I'm here to like take more risks today, um, but not over the top risks. If you're talking to him, I'm terrified. Otherwise, I'm not that worried. That's all I'll say about that. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Hammer. I'll get him real good. Of course, I'm talking to you. All right, Chimbamu, give me all the strats then. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm doing me, right? Pull some Drake out. Hopefully not too cringe. All right. I am ready. But yeah, we're here to have fun today. Max reindeers. Max Azrai spear. I'm demons. I'm not wood elves. The fun story that we have the same number of units. Interesting. Um, Tim and I have actually played on Itza quite a lot together. Used to be a map he used to beat me on all the time by going build up. Right. Classic Tim, not waiting for me to be ready, or he gets ready. Demon Prince has very little armor, so let's try not to lose him right away. All right, let the fun begin. So out of the gates, we have a little bit of skirm. And kind of an archer box. We got arrows of Kurnos. It's okay. We have this now. All right. Let's actually just hide him in the woods for right now. Hopefully I don't forget about him. All right, bring you back. Actually, if he's just going to let me have the archer, I'm going to take it. And we are going to stuff. We are here for stuffing. All right. Dryads are here. Dryads are the targets we're going for. We can just try to kill the dryads. Right. You can come into the spears. Let's try not to lose my lord this time. Here. Kite back. Shoot the dryads. Turn and face the dryads. Come back here. Shoot the dryads. Wait, you fight there. You shoot the dryads. Look how close to dead my lord already is. You can go hide in the bushes. There'll be an opportunity at some point to fight there. He did get 1 point, which is annoying, but not that big of a deal. And then let's kite you back a little bit. You get you on the archers. All right, you come through. All right. Attack the archers, please. Put another one through the middle. Chase the archers there. Push through here. Right. I'm leaving my lord for now. There'll be opportunities for make some impact later. So I'm not so concerned about it. I would like some more doggos. You come here, continue to try to stuff. All right. And you just need some more cap weight in the center. Some preemptive cap weight. The spears are going to take a long time to get out of the... These are just Glade Riders, so I think I'm okay to just take charges now. All right, so we're pretty much just archers now. Wow, look at that Arrows of Kurnos. Still very strong ability. All right. In that case, undercast, you can take that. That's unfortunate. That's a pretty big loss for me. I mean, what are you gonna do? Arrows of Kurnos takes up like the entire battlefield. All right. Well, that's GG. Arrows of Kurnos are too strong. I guess I should save the replays. So the thing is, I'm like winning for the most part. I'm winning all the infantry engagements pretty hard. And the archers aren't getting that much value. But the arrows of Kurnos, just three arrows of Kurnos did 2k damage on my lord, and I couldn't cast any magic. Um, that's that's a little too much. Each one did like, I don't know, 1.5 or 2k damage. I mean, honestly, the Arrows of Kronos basically won that matchup for him. It is what it is. Infantry all traded well. Plague Bearers not as much. And these were just here to absorb shots. I guess in that case, if the yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much I can do about that. They can kill my lord anywhere on the battlefield, and it's really hard to dodge. I think I played it pretty well, honestly. I don't think I made too many mistakes in the opening. I lost my lord or my hounds, but okay, well, GG for round one. So let me put the blocker up again. Let's find a new pick three. Okay. Think about what I'm going to pick for a second. Just thinking through what my choices are. Check my faction pool. Mm-hmm. Okay. I am ready to pick. Good luck to Mambu. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. My first pick is Tomb Kings. His first two picks are Beastmen and Dwarves. Okay. I've got Empire. And my last pick is Wood Elves, and his pick is High Elves. I think High Elves makes sense into Wood Elves. I am back. What up, first high elves? I think. Well, he's banned it, so he was afraid of it. Um. Okay. Okay. My bans are easy. I have banned Tomb King's Dwarves. Not because I don't think Tomb King's Dwarves is like winnable, but just because I don't want to play it. And then Empire High Elves. Um, for a similar reason, like probably both matches are winnable, but I don't know them as well, so I'm less likely to like try them out here. And so the only matchups remaining are Wood Elves, Beastmen, and Dwarves Wood Elves, and then Tomb King's Beastmen and Empire Beastmen. So basically, I've left open Empire or Beastmen on his 3 picks, and then also Wood Elves. So at this point, I can force Beastmen, him playing Beastmen. And he's checking out right now Dwarves versus Wood Elves. We can check some of the rosters too. All right, so he's banned Beastmen, Wood Elves, and Dwarves, Wood Elves. So he's banned out Wood Elves. Left me with Empire Beastmen or Tomb King's Beastmen. Now I'm checking the rosters. So let's play Empire Beastmen. So I am working on my army. Okay. Hmm. Trying to guess which cav trades the best. Not the easiest. Not the easiest to figure out. Okay, I've got kind of a funny idea. We'll see how it works. Funny or fun? It's a fun idea. All right. Next map is Bordalo Landing, and he asked that I turn off the AI stats modifier. The AI stats modifier is kind of weird. Let's make sure I turn off the blocker. Yeah, so this is game 2 in the series. If people have missed the first game, I lost the first game. So if I lose this one again, Tim will go on. In that case, if Tim does win this game, then or if Tim wins the series overall, then I'll stream somebody else's games for the next round. Uh, and then and then when it gets to the semifinals, then I'll stop streaming because Turin will be streaming the semifinals. So we can all go to Turin stream at that point. So my strategy with Empire here is based on how I like to play Chaos Dwarves this matchup. All right. Let me just space these out a little bit so that they don't get hit by Flock of Dooms. Oop. Actually, hold up. Let's fix those control groups. He has a large army, which makes me think he went with a lot of chaff. I don't know that I'm particularly worried about that. But something to keep in mind for sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. Put you in guard mode. Okay, I'm gonna call it right now. He's got Malagor, Flying Malagor, Flock of Doom only, and a bunch of chaff, including Pestigors and Gore herds. Maybe uh, a couple Skirm Cav in the starter. That's what I'm calling. Should be able to see Malagor by now. Maybe he's got a Doom Bowl. He's got a Doom Bowl. Okay, I kind of forgot about Doom Bowls, honestly. All right, in that case, start some chaff just to... Let's see if he's got something hiding here. I bet he does. All right, double check that we're not getting too surprised. All right, there's the first archer. That archer is very vulnerable. Get you up. All right, bring you here. That's a whoopsie. All right, I looked away for a second. I'm not gonna give him this one. And he's got a Flock of Doom caster, as predicted. I should have brought more. I should have brought more of the. Hold on. I'm just gonna stop talking for a second so I don't make a silly mistake. My first net. All right. Both of you shoot that, please. You're gonna run away with this guy. All right, you're unbraced. Let's get a couple of you out. Okay, bring you back over here. Come back here. Flock of Dooms will do a lot of damage, which is unfortunate, but kind of unavoidable. Alright, that's a big mistake by me. I shouldn't have let that happen. Alright, you're unbreakable for now. You can keep chasing. I think I'll bring another cav out. All right. Bring you back. Bring you back. Bring you over. Actually, you guys can fight for a second. Yeah, this is just too much to micro. My God. You come here. Actually, you come through the spears. All right. Okay, let's capture the center again. Bring you over here to deal with this. All right, Centaurs here can take the charge. You guys can come over here. You can come through here, drop your pigeon bombs there. All right, we're gonna just stay on this point for right now. We're gonna stay careful. All right. Come here. You can keep chasing the archer. You can chase that archer. All right, get some more charges there. Oops. Heart here, and then charge here. All right. Keep charging the Centaur. Okay, no charge Centaur. All right, let's just stay on this point for a second. Probably come through here again. Get this, see if we can get a sneaky pick on that. You try to get the Doom Bowl. All right. You come through again. No, I don't want to get stuck there. 30 seconds to my next. All right, we can't let that happen though. 2, 1. All right. Let's see if I can get out of that from here. And then I still need to keep pushing things to the middle. Da, da, da. All right. 2, 1. Right there is good. All right. Bring you back. Let's just try to blob that guy because we have the extra. Bring the Korngor in. So much chaff. He can field so much over here. All right, you come through here. Let's just get a little net on that. All right. Yeah, the Empire troops are just not that durable. Let's see, is this doable still? Is this still winnable? Kind of all of my counters for the Centaurs are dead, which is unfortunate. Funny enough, I need more spears. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm just getting outpicked. I think he's just made better choices with the matchups. Unfortunately. And good calls with his builds. All right, I think this one is done. Well, GG to Tim. So let me see. Yeah, I think honestly the snake system works very poorly for the second person. I feel like the first person has a lot more autonomy. But maybe my choices weren't the best. And his like super wide chaff army, I didn't have good tools to answer that. And then I couldn't keep up on the micro requirement was a lot higher for me than it was for him. Yeah, but good build, well played. Yeah, maybe the pressure wasn't enough from the Pistoliers. I'm not that familiar with this unit, and the range is very short. And the Flock of Doom and Doom Bowl were good ideas. Okay. Eskinder, the Empire army is doo-doo. Yeah, I mean that's obvious now, but it wasn't obvious before. I think the engineer is not what I'm used to too. I think what happened here was I tried to fit playing the I tried to fit playing like I would with Chaos Dwarves into playing with Empire, and it just like it doesn't it's not really the right approach. If anything, probably I needed more spears in the starting army. Like if I had this, perhaps it feels a little better. But Flock of Doom is a good counter to these kind of units. They take a lot of damage from Flock of Doom. And the Master Engineer is a lot more expensive than I'm used to. I think I haven't really had a lot of time to practice these matchups. So, in the Wood Elf one, I think I just wasn't anticipating the Arrows of Kurnos to like delete my Lord pretty quickly. But Ryan, it was not that close, no, unfortunately. Okay, so I have some players. I should be able to jump into another one. Trying to find somebody to watch. Yeah, so no Minotaurs, just chaff. And I think the chaff was what was the hardest thing to do. Um, yeah, I mean, Iskander, the Burning Headcaster was right, but he like was able to destroy my Lord so quick. I think part of the issue too is I let him kill my Lord and I didn't get to cast fire magic because I was like hiding him for a long time. So I got like the worst of both worlds where but honestly like the Arrows of Kurnos just did so much damage. Uh we can go back and look at it. Um let's see. Let me save this other replay too. Um Yeah, and I think maybe I got a little overconfident with my strategy to kill Beastman, given that Beastman and Wood Elves are probably the two best factions in the game right now. And I let him play both of them and didn't play a single one of them myself. So Arrows of Kurnos, that was one Arrows of Kurnos. Did, yeah, about 1k damage. I tried dodging. Maybe I made a slight dodge. But basically, 6 Arrows of Kurnos kill my Lord. So they do about 1k damage each. I guess sometimes they do more. So, like he just used Arrows of Kurnos. And I'm like, oh, like I can't let that happen again. But this is on cooldown for 90 seconds. I could be casting. I guess I do get one cast. But like this is pressure that I've given up at the beginning. Like either I just sit him in the bushes until like the late game and try to force like a late game fight or something. Um, or yeah, this was silly of me, just looking away for a second. This kind of mistake is explainable by it just being the first game of the day. Yeah, but quite honestly, I didn't have any time this week to practice or, do any brainstorming. So it's not that surprising that I was struggling to find like good matchups and, think through the tech. So now he's been hit by 2 sets of arrows of Kurnos. So 4 arrows of Kurnos, about 3k damage, 3.5k damage. You're doing about 750 each? No, more than that. So I probably could have had 2 burning heads by now, killed 2 of the archers. Let's see, the time cooldown is only 37 seconds. So that's a big mistake by me, not letting yeah, I guess they're shooting with their missile as well. And I could be getting good burning heads here. I try to hide it him for the next arrows of Kurnos. Yeah, I guess so. To be fair, a lot of the damage was just on the missile. Um, like these little missile shots that have magic damage. I forget that they're impactful because they usually don't have AP, or they don't have AP on the. But yeah, so yeah, maybe mistake not capturing this point sooner, letting him hold that. If I do this kind of approach. I mean, he can just hide in the bushes the whole time at this point. That's probably the best strategy. These Waystalkers have already gotten like basically their entire value just shooting him with a couple arrows of Kurnos and a couple little chip for the missiles. The infantry game is going fine for me, which is probably a sign that I should be doing leading like heavier into that. But yeah. And just show he's at 3k now. As soon as I get out, so they still try to shoot through the trees. Let's see if they actually manage to like walk them all the way up. All right, it's like as soon as I walk him out again, he gets another arrow of the Kronos. His archer that I burning head came back with no HP and full models. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I come out at 3k HP, and then he just gets deleted by the arrows of Kurnos. There wasn't anything else shooting at him. So basically 2 arrows of Kurnos did 2.5k damage. So I guess that the ability does have some RNG associated with it if they all hit or they all do full damage. But yeah, so basically already dead. Whether or not this battle, I mean, with the magic, I'm probably winning this. Without the magic, it does look like I'm already losing. Yeah, arrows of Kurnus were a good idea. And then their little chip does all the rest of the damage. Let's see. let's see the bracket. I can show the bracket. Here, let's see. One second. Show the bracket. Here's the bracket. So Chimbambu 2-0, attack speed enjoyer, Harrison 2-0 Grombrindle, Tim 2-0 me. Now it's playing Harrison. Boss Toss beat Ulrich 2-1. Don't know if Outer Region is streaming. Oishi was a last minute addition, which is pretty funny. Because Oishi being added meant that I shouldn't have played Tim. But it was done so last minute that they squeezed him in. Because I was second to last and Tim was second to first. So Oishi being added as the last place player meant that I should have played I guess Martin. And like the seeds are not right in these. That I guess I should have played Martin. And that would have been a nicer bracket for me because then I could have played Tim when I was in the finals if I got that far. Um, but yeah, let me see if. Let's just stop this for a second. We can look at the second one too. While we're waiting, still waiting for just somebody to give me replays or give me replays or just let me cast. But yeah, I mean, I could tell from pretty early on that the mistake that I made. Well, first of all, not bringing more grenade launchers. I think that would have been way better than bringing the pistoliers for two reasons. That this give more targets for a pit of a flock of doom. I get the points early, and maybe that means that I should be waiting on point one when I see this much chaff and building up my own. I want to be shooting gore herds, but he does have some ungores there. This is reasonably good. And then I do look away for a second. I knew that this was probably going to happen, but then I look away. It happens anyways. Just too much to micro. I'm like trying to micro over here, here, and here at the same time. I probably should play like way up here if I want to do that so I can see all three at once. Just, be moving them. And then sending my spears to the middle. And now you see, like I can't. Maybe these should have just been in control group too, because they get clumped, and then the beast caster gets a lot of value from flocks. Guess what Tim was planning here was if he has so much chaff, Orange Pest asks what's the build to do as Tzeentch versus Tomb King. We can look at that in a second. I mean, maybe you want to go with the Soul Grinder to deal with the big monster, but maybe you just bring the hero squad. But anyways, yeah, so at this point, like this was a bad Flock of Doom for me. These 3 units are going to take a lot of damage. And I'm like microing okay, honestly. Like I catch this pretty quickly. So what I was going to say was I'm guessing what Tim was planning on with so much infantry. Maybe he's expecting the Master Engineer. He must be expecting the Master Engineer at the Doom Bowl. But I think what he's trying to do is like bounce me between the points. And it's funny that it's surviving at half health. So they take a quarter damage from one Flock of Doom. That's not great. Use my first net there. Still trying to micro in like 3 places at once. I commit my Master Engineer here, and he's making more of an aggressive play for the center now. They probably just received as much damage as they gave. Now they're giving more damage. And then this one. So I've kind of overcomplicated it a little bit. Basically I'm fighting on 3 fronts. I mean, hindsight is 2020, right? You can learn from what the builds are going to be, but not always that easy when you're in them to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to struggle to micro, 3 fronts simultaneously with like 10 units at the same time. So now he's gone for like the stuff style. I think even here, if I'm pulling back, I'm still doing okay. You'll notice that the value is not counting the battle very well, because the Flock of Dooms are not being counted for. And like if you look at across the battlefield, he has 2 half-health archers, 2 half-health spears, and 1 mostly dead corn gore. So he's winning at this point. So the skirmishing has gone pretty badly for me. I'm trying to identify the right plan at this point. This was a mistake. I meant to get it on the archer, and then I like lost the forgot to renew the charge. And this Empire Knight finally gets caught by a Centaur on a rear charge. And he does not escape. Let's see if anybody is. One second. Okay. Um, yeah, and at this point, it's probably. I think the problem that I'm gonna quickly have is that the he's gonna now start summoning like a ton of corn or not corn cores. Oh, he is summoning a ton of corn cores. Um, was that he's uh going to summon a lot of centaurs pretty soon and just sort of outmuscled me with mobility. You know, and I saw Turin play this matchup recently too, and against Butcherbird, I think. And the game was pretty close for a similar reason that or like they were very similar dynamic of the he brought Boris instead of the engineer. Boris is probably a better pick. Maybe not better pick, but and basically he just didn't have enough like Beastmen can just field so much cost-effective infantry against chaff. They're like a good chaff clearer because they have so many gore herds, and the marked gores now are pretty good at dealing with a lot of other things. Beastcaster, 700 value. It's an okay Flock of Doom, not a great one. I just didn't really have much good things to summon at this point. Like I'm kind of out of spears already. Funny that I should want more spears and more chaff when I brought like tons of it. But maybe it's that I wish that I had better infantry. It's a good net of Amatok there. See if they actually do damage on the charge. They should do damage on the charge. But for some reason they really don't. They did practically no damage. So this is a unit with, well, I guess the charge bonus isn't huge right now, but still charge bonus. And this was a good one. Yeah, I'm glad the steam tank was nerfed because it was too strong, but it's pretty lackluster compared to the trains on the Chaos Dwarf roster, which is probably why people have pretty much stopped using this. At this point, probably all of these just need to come over here. I could just salvage something of all this. But I mean, the battle is already over at this point. So, anyways, um, yeah, I mean, I think Tim beat me on builds. He beat me on the picks. So I think he was just well prepared, honestly. All right. So theoretically, we have a match to watch. Oh, whoops. Hold up. Let's go back. Outer spectate. Is outer region? Let me see if outer region is. Let's see if outer region is streaming. Yeah, okay. Outer region isn't streaming this tournament. Okay, so this is Outer Region is playing Boss Toss, and it's the round two game. Both of these players are very competent. Um, Outer Region is very talented, and Boss Toss has been crushing a lot of the competition. But yeah, I think today too, in terms of oh, Outer Region, I didn't see it in my chat. Oh, and Orange Pest, your we can talk about your build. I played it once upon a time with like the answer to the I think like the question is how do you deal with the big sphinxes? I mean, I'm gonna guess that Soul Grinders of Zinch are the way to play it because they do have decent anti-large, but you're gonna have to be doing a lot of dodging. Honestly, it feels like a pretty difficult matchup, but definitely bringing Centaurs of Zinch to kill constructs is important. And maybe just going Marauder heavy is the way to go. But I would say it's one of the tougher matchups. I actually won that matchup in a season finals against Chicken Feed. And yeah, Severed Claw and Two Exalted, and I couldn't bring it down. Yeah, I would say it's pretty tricky matchup now. Um, Perhaps the Soul Grinder is like correct, or something with Changebringers where you do like kind of a Changebringer rush. Yeah, so anyways, Outer Region's a great player. The matches are the the maps for this round are Jade Tomb, Proving's Grounds, and Changer's Madhouse. So Jade Tomb, yeah, this round is very different than the last round too, in terms of the kinds of maps that they have. I probably would have preferred these, but yeah, maybe I just shouldn't have given Tim the chance to play What Else on something that I didn't want to play it against. Overconfident in my Demons of Chaos. Um, so Jade Tomb, this map has very far forward Vanguard points, so all the way to the middle, basically. Uh, so you summon right on top of the points. And also, it's kind of this unusual dynamic where if you're a shooting faction, there's a home point here and a home point here and one over here. If you're a shooting faction, oh, and you know what? Let me turn my sound on. People wanted the game sound. Let me turn that on. Let's turn it up to 50. Okay. Hopefully it's not too loud now. Maybe I'll check my settings. Spectate. Just make sure. Yeah, so J2 is this interesting dynamic where like you might want to play it as a shooting faction because it's like pretty open. But if you play it as a shooting faction, we have this tree line here, and you can kind of run through the units through the trees to get onto your opponent's backfield. So if you're shooting faction, you kind of end up going over here, and it can be hard to actually get on the points. Um, but the tree line is not so aggressive. It's like this kind of weird triangle shape that it's kind of hard to like move through the trees effectively. But I would say this map highly favors factions like maybe with good Vanguard options because you can just summon, you can just like be on the points right away. So I've seen Wood Elves on this map feel pretty strong, depending on the matchup, of course. But Wood Elves in general with these very far forward Vanguard points are tend to be stronger. Satang Changeling is a good idea for Zinch into. Another changeling idea that I was messing around with recently was, yeah, funny, and Rakesh, that I was just about to mention that. Um, you can use a net, you can like use the changeling to summon Aranessa or Marcus with their nets. Um, or you can use uh, the changeling into Skarsnik, and Skarsnik has the fermented fungi and the extra bonus versus large item. And he's not that expensive. He's not great, but he's not that expensive. Let's check what's going on with the other games. I don't think this one is. Let's see whose this is. Just a random game. Could cast that. See if we can get back into Outer Regions game. I'm guessing what's happening is Outer Region is making picks right now. 3x3 takes a long time to do picks. Hey Skinner, I was just seeing if anyone was around. Getting impatient. But he's probably just making his picks right now. Yeah, if you all haven't watched Outer Regions streams, definitely go check out Outer Regions content. He's been casting games for replays and also doing his streaming. So it's good stuff if you want to watch that. Yeah, Satang is pretty would probably be reasonably good if you can keep Satang alive. I think that's the tricky thing. If you bring Satang, then you're a little vulnerable to Oob Shopti. Iskander, is Intensity streaming multiplayer again, or just regular Total War? Or like the. Oh, looks like he is playing multiplayer. Like land battles. Getting into the. Yeah, it's cool that he's getting back into the game. That's good for good for the community to have such a popular streamer looking at multiplayer again. Let's see, Boss Toss joined? Not yet. Training so tech. Well, maybe what we could do would be funny. So it would be kind of funny. Okay, Sterngard did something to me recently. Let's change the channel real quick. Let me make a new scene. Okay, so maybe we have Vampire Coast. Hold up, let me fix this. So this one, let's see if this works. Mike, copy, paste, and then almost done. Maybe I can just do it like this. Okay, I can't do that one. Window capture. All right. Let's do this for a second. Let's see if this works. Let's see if I can get this to work. Is that streaming? Yeah, okay. So while we wait for a second for while we wait a second for Outer Region and Boss Toss, we're gonna make fun of Sterngard for a second because Sterngard was made a joke video recently about me. So so here we have Sterngard. He's playing his favorite faction, Chaos Dwarves, or second favorite. Not sure which dwarf he likes better. He's playing on ladder against Nurgle. And the thing you gotta realize about Sterngard is he loves beating noobs. so he enjoys punishing these poor new players who have never played competitively before, because he is a sadist. He just enjoys causing pain on other people. So he does this where he punishes the hell out of people who don't know anything about the game. He's about to triple cap his opponent. He's gone with the Chad Iron Sworn build. This is how you play, kids. This is how you play Chaos Dwarfs like a Chad. You bring as many Skirm Cav as you can. A Bale Taurus. It's got to be a really big, scary flying monster because you know those are very good. Then you bring the most expensive infantry with the blasting charges because why not? Then you bring the shooty guys with the fire glaives because they're really cool. And basically, you don't bring any infantry because you don't need infantry. Infantry on Chaos Dwarves are expensive. Everybody knows that they're expensive. So you bring all of the things that are. He's unsummoning his Skirm Cav. I don't think that was intentional. All right, goodbye, Skirm Cav. Yeah, you bring all of the fun units. Honestly, this is the correct way of playing. Okay, back to our original programming. Let me actually exit out of this. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was Iskander did not approve of that. Or sorry, not Iskander. Iskander doesn't approve, that's true, but Sterngard doesn't approve. won't have approved. So hopefully he sees this later. He might have actually been listening. That would have been funny. If he was actually listening to the stream at the same time. I think he said that he was. Iskander says people in quick play are not people. It's fine. Iskander is another person. If you don't know this about Iskander, Iskander is another person who will play 2v2s just for the sole purpose of crushing his opponents. So yeah, we can Sterngard and Iskander are two peas in a pod. Let me I messed up something. Alright. I try to fix the sound real quick. I messed it up. That should be okay, I think. Alright. So Outer Region has been playing a lot of Coast recently. It's been playing it pretty wide, and he's been liking the crab. So this is something that I would say Scrambled Egg Special originally. And look at these armies. Like two groups of just like giant masses of unwashed bodies. Outer Region will get to the points first. He has the cheap zombie pirate guns. And some bombers. This is such like an Outer Region style too, to put just like a flat line. Okay, he is moving them, but I've seen him do just like, you know, complete flank denial by just doing like a wall of troops. And then max bombers and a single handgunner. I wonder what the single handgunner is for. And Boss Toss has gone with a Screaming Skull catapult. I'm guessing Outer Region didn't bring a cannon, but a cannon would make sense in this matchup. Because, you know, it can get on catapults, it can get on Upshopti. But Boss Toss has gone with a... I'm basically doing the same thing as Outer Region. And my DPS units, instead of bombers, are archers and catapults. This one, Chosen of the Gods, is going to do a lot of damage to Solastra. And then we have an instant summon of another polearm. I think if you're Outer Region here, well, I guess you just throw everything in to the battle. But Solastra is going to have a lot of trouble with this Chosen of the Gods. I'm guessing he has the... Let's see what he has. Song of Enthrallment with a big slow. Ghost of the Past. It's the Summon and Tide Call. A little mini Mortis engine. That's probably not worth bringing, honestly. And then Katep has Sandstorm. So again, more just cheap chaff clearing. Cursed Blades and Protection. So just the like standard kit for the Restless Dead. Passive. I'm guessing what Outer Region is doing is to try to get the Damn Knight's Errant summon on the Chosen of the Gods. I don't actually know who wins this, like in terms of just the sheer infantry killing, because the skeletons are going to be better than the zombies. The zombies are just kind of shit tier. But the bombers are better than the archers. Hey, look how much damage Silastra has already taken. I expect the summon to go down pretty soon. It's interesting that this is still shooting. It almost looked like it was shooting through this, but maybe that's not what happened. These look like a preemptive summon to either get on bombers or to prevent the summon of the thing. The Damn Knight's Errant. This is good awareness too by Outer Region, already having the slow zombies in the correct place. Sirens is an interesting choice. But how do you ever kill the Upshopti? Look at 830 value from 2.5 minutes of battle. I mean, you got to keep this out of the battle. Interestingly, Boss Toss is retreating already. Maybe he has established that he's not going to win these engagements. So he's starting to form like a concave. Outer Region does have enough awareness to keep Celestra hidden, but any time that you come out, you're going to be in so much danger. I really feel like this is going to cost Outer Region the battle. But let's see. He's doing a good job keeping it out of danger for now. And my earlier question about who wins the grind, it kind of seems like the winner is the coast. Outer Region is like dying for a Damn Knight's salmon summon. Here's the protection. But yeah, unfortunately, so this unit is like almost completely countered by the one unit that's probably like 1,000 gold less. Sirens will probably trade up into the Eyes of the Desert, but it'll probably take a long time. And Outer Region does have the triple cap. It does feel like we're just about to have no units left from Coast. All the infantry is about to die. All right, the summon must be going down now. Now the Sirens are putting pressure on both of these units. So he turns in fights so that he can take the shooting with just this. All right, there's the summon. Now, this is a very good timing for the summon. Really kind of like a master class because there's nothing there to protect. All of the cav are elsewhere. That's pretty amazing by Outer Region. Like I feel like I would have been much more impatient. And it's funny because Outer Region considers himself an impatient player, but this was incredibly patient. And now the Chosen of the Gods are finally dying, and Silostra can finally shine. There's a chance the Damn Knight's Errant might get both the Chosen of the Gods and this. Sandstorm going down. We can look a little closer. So a lot of mess going on in the backfield. And most of the infantry has kind of cleared up from both parties, just leaving the archers, which have survived, but the bombers have not. But what Outer Region has done is he's phased in Hulks and Sirens and Depth Guard, where Boss Toss has mostly summoned not infantry. So we have a little bit more infantry, but we've seen a lot of skeletons, like cheap skeletons, and those skeletons are already dead. The skeleton horsemen's. Skeleton horsemen are pretty subpar unless they're killing something really squishy. Okay, so Damn Knight's Errant did manage to basically kill the Chosen of the Gods, leaving the Sirens to chase the Eyes of the Desert. I'm really liking Outer Region's chances here. Oh, interesting that he summons bombers and not infantry. Yeah, really fascinating. And now this kind of like remnant of the archer position is sort of falling apart. It does have guard mode here. Now pulling back. But Silostra will be a good answer to the Kepler guard. And Screaming Skull Catapults are a pretty good answer against Sirens. A little bit of friendly fire there. Outer Region is being patient, it seems. He's, again, being a lot more patient than he gives himself credit for. Skeleton Horsemen are problematic for... Oh, another Depth Guard summon. So look at the points. I've been seeing people do this a lot, of this like really hyper-aggressive strategy. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Outer Region has won this game. Boss Toss is going to have such a hard time. Coast, or not Coast, Tomb Kings is such a difficult faction to capture points the far point because everything is slow and you can summon mobility, but the mobility is not particularly great. It's not strong. So if your opponent already has like a pretty strong formation, that said, Scrambled Egg recently beat me with a very slow push with the with the Tomb Kings, but that had more to do with the um that I was Beastman, and his Beastman was able to wow, that's a lot of damage. Let's see how much this one takes. I got a little bit of a fight off, a little bit of a shot. That's avoidable. But he's doing too much. And okay, Tomb Kings do hold this point, but not for long. So even if they take point one, they're gonna lose their home point. Silostra was 1600, and the Damn Knight's Errant got like 1200, and that's not counted in this value. So Silostra more than paying for herself. It's funny. Had Boss Toss summoned more infantry in the secondary, um, funny looking at his army in the beginning, be like, okay, in the secondary, you're going to need more infantry. I don't think anyone would be able to make that call. Outer region is going to pull back to stall the capture here. About 200 seconds or 100 seconds, it's not possible anymore. So yeah, I think I am really amazed how good of a job Outer Region did at timing the summon. Um, when I saw the Chosen of the Gods, I was like, okay, Celestra is not going to be able to do anything this entire battle. And not only has Celestra done a ton in the battle, um, let's look at her animations if they're going to keep playing for a little bit longer. Not only has she done a ton in the battle, but oh, I guess a lot of it is tide calls too, so it's not necessarily all just her melee value. Um, he managed to keep her alive basically, and also make her really valuable. That was really impressive from Outer Region, and I think these armies are so cool. I love that they're just sort of like walls of the undead running into each other. Um, it's really exciting. So the bombers mobs, I guess, kind of paid for themselves, but not really. Some of these probably didn't shoot, and honestly, it's hard to say what cracked the front line. Um, but I think where Outer Region won the game, besides that one really nice play with Celestra, but I think that was only part of it. I think what Celestra or what Outer Region did that Boss Toss didn't do was he summoned like quality infantry right away, and what that meant, and monstrous infantry, whereas Boss Toss summoned mostly cheap cav. Um, and the thing is, at the end of the day, they changed their compositions of their troops from things that do well into chaff to no chaff. So we had this dynamic of Outer Region going towards more durable and Boss Toss going towards less durable. Um, Boss Toss almost has like an army designed to dive, like a really heavy gun line. And Outer Region did bring the gun line, but because he put the pressure on so early at the beginning, there was never really a time to like abuse that. And if anything, the gun line was a little bit of a bait. So yeah, that was really cool battle to watch. Um, so Iskander's still talking about his abuse of poor noobs, and um, Hammer and Zebra says, if you think about it, they are the most washed bodies salt water cleans. Yeah, that's true. Yep. It preserves too, so the dead bodies. I think it was just a regular handgun. I think it would show up. Yeah, the handgun did good damage. I don't know what it was shooting, but maybe it was just there as like insurance against Upshopti or something. Funny enough, if he had gone with Ushopti, there's not really that much here that does well into them. Like, some chaff and some Ushopti. But yeah, that was a really cool matchup to see. Vampire Coast is not one that's been getting a lot of play recently. And Tomb Kings, this is like a cool army from the Tomb King, so that was really fun and thematic. Both of these players are really fun to watch. I think it's also that last game really shows the range of Boss Toss's style too. Because Boss Toss can um, play melee factions. And in fact, Proving Grounds is a strong map for melee factions. Um, so it was really interesting to see Boss Toss play like more of a shooting line and more chaff. Similar to an army that I've seen out of Scrambled Egg Special. Very similar. So I wonder if those two have influenced each other and how they play that faction. Hi, Jimbambu. Jimbambu, you missed me getting smacked around. Um, Tim beat me, I think partially because I was just kind of underprepared and I took more risks than I should have. I should have played matchups that I felt better in. Yeah, Chimbambu, go watch the game. It was really interesting. I think that was like a really cool game to watch. Chimbambu, how are you doing in the bracket? I'll pull that up. Let's do let's pull the bracket back up for people who haven't seen it. Let's make sure I do this without somehow doxing myself. All right, let's rename this for and then window capture should be this, I think. Uh, so here's the bracket for people who are interested. We have okay, so Solasora beat Chimbambu. Sorry to see that, Chimbambu. Um, Solasora is the last season final champ, and one that Tim the Wilder is particularly afraid of. Um, so I won't even necessarily be able to say the person who wins the tournament. I don't actually know how Tim's game with Harrison is going, but uh, Tim might very well lose to Solasora. Um, Oishi losing to Martin. Oh, okay. The bracket just updated. So Tim 2-0'd Harrison and is on to Solasora. So this game will be casted by Turin. I think that is starting maybe this hour or next hour. I'll double check that. Okay, so 12:30, so 30 minutes till the stream starts. I'll probably finish streaming this series, even if Turin starts streaming the next series, and then I'll end the stream after that and go watch. We can all watch Turin's stream. Martin being Oishi is interesting because Oishi has been kind of crushing this season. But Oishi plays a lot of ogres and Khorne, and ogres have been banned this tournament. So Martin could have chosen to ban Khorne, and then Oishi is like down the two factions he played the most. So it might have been something like that that happened. Via, unfortunately, my clanmate lost to Elvio. Oishi should have been Rusto, my other clanmate, Rusto, but he was on a business trip, so he wasn't able to play today, unfortunately. And Outer Region beat Catholic Alcoholic. Catholic Alcoholic hasn't really played much, so Catholic won one of the other season finals, but has basically not been playing very much recently. So a lot like me, kind of squeaked in to this tournament and kind of rusty. Um, but Outer Region's been playing a lot. He's in top form. And Ulrich, another old name, been around for a long time. And Boss Toss 2-1 to him. That's a good show. Ulrich, uh, I think Ulrich placed second in the world, the like domination World Cup, or the not the World Cup, the World tournament. Can't remember what it's called. So Ulrich placed like second or third in that event. So Ulrich is another very strong player. Yeah. Subadai, another old gun. So Subutai, myself, Tim, Grombrindle as well, and Catholic, Outer Region, and Ulrich were kind of like the players who've been around for a long time. And Boss Toss, Oishi, Martin, Elvio, Solasora, Chimbambu, Attack Speed, Harrison. These are all players that have kind of been up and coming over the last year or so. Uh, so kind of interesting to see that a lot of the old folks are out and a lot of the new folks are still in. Tim and Outer Region are the two like OGs that are still in the tournament. Let's cancel this for a second. Go back to let me make sure. All right, so the game is starting. So we have Tomb Kings from Outer Region, and then Chaos Dwarves from Boss Toss. Oh, hi, Turin. Good to see you. You can rest your voice for 30 minutes before the tournament starts. Yeah, Orange Pets. I would say maybe Solasora is the favorite, or Tim the Wild are the favorites because they've oh, Subutai didn't play. Oh, that's unfortunate. But he didn't drop out. Um all right, let's watch the game real quick. Yeah, and if you're just tuning in and you missed the last game, I highly encourage you to watch that game. Because it was really exciting and really well played by both players. But okay, so Outer Region, we have Skeletons, Boss Toss, we have Chaff, and some Warriors. Fire, Burning Head, be good and this is the more expensive Taurus, the Great Taurus, the Bale Taurus. Skirm start. Interestingly, they're both playing to the same side. Outer Region has Chosen of the Gods and Eyes of the Desert. Those are going to be the DPS. Similar amount of Skirm, but these Skirms have a lot higher range. So I found that out the hard way. These Skirms will dunk on these Skirms. I've played this matchup a number of times. I think the Death Shriek is the best approach in this matchup. Based on just the armies alone, I like Outer Region's army a little better. But I think one of the key things is whether or not Outer Region is going to have brought Ushapti, because that is the only real way that you get through the Chaos Warriors. I don't think it's right to bring so much chaff in this matchup. Because the warriors will just trade so well into all the chaff. You know, a single warrior will kill three or four skeleton warriors. And also with the Burning Head. On the other hand, Cetra can do a lot of damage to warriors, so it's kind of this dynamic of like, does Cetra kill all the warriors? Do you have Good answers. I imagine that Boss Toss must have some. Okay, so this is his anti-Cetra kit. To have an Infernal Fireglaive, which makes sense on this map. But Cetra is very hard to pin down. It pushes through everything. This is unfortunate for Boss Toss. Basically, these are routing already. But the Eyes of the Desert took a lot of damage on the... Also, this seems to me like the most outer region thing is like he uses these big kitties that have anti-infantry against for killing literally everything. It's like, do you have a Bull Centaur render? Well, outer region is just going to charge his, like one or two kitties into it. Okay, so outer region does know how to summon Ushapti. I think that'll be good for him. It'll stop up the trains and it'll prevent the Chaos Warriors. This is maybe a waste, but honestly, like, you're not really going to do much with this chaff anyways. So it's hard to say that it really is going to be that impactful to the battle. Second Infernal Guard Fireglaves. So this might be another dynamic, like similar to the last battle of like, what do the armies become as opposed to what did they start with? Because now we have anti-large stuff, and now we have anti-large stuff, or we have large stuff coming in. So are these going to be enough? It'll be interesting to see. And another Ushapti. So outer region is maybe not necessarily matching what his opponent is summoning that well. And I have to give Boss Toss credit. His train and his lord are doing a great job tying down these valuable things. Even though the Eyes of the Desert are here, I think part of it is that this map is so small that it makes it more possible to like kind of not have the maneuver room. Infernal Guard are already partially damaged on the way in. And then a nice Usirians. Usirians will be a good answer for that. The current state of the battle, I still do like outer regions chances, but Boss Toss's single entities are still quite happy. Boss Toss is flipping the objective very slowly. Oh, but one of the iron everything is iron. Infernal Guard is dead. I think that was largely the chariot charge, and then maybe combined with the Chosen of the Gods. So that's a really big pick, I think. That's gonna make a big difference. Second one is putting fire on Cetra. It's interesting that Boss Toss is leaving these here and outer regions ignoring them. I think it has to be a mistake from one of them, but I'm not sure which it is that's making the mistake. I would suspect that it would be nice to move this Chaos Warrior over here and just get extra damage on the skeletons. Try to break through this formation and get to the shooters, but honestly, Boss Toss doesn't really have good things to jump on them. This could turn the battle. Oh, but then a nice Ushapti summon. I think as I predicted, the Chaos Warriors are just slowly grinding through all of the infantry. But because outer region has the Ushapti here, and the train has killed a lot of, Chimbambu said that the train is questionable, but Boss Toss is kind of showing that the train is like one of the best things right now. But that might have to be more to do with the Chosen of the Gods just having so many good targets, and the Eyes of the Desert. Because the Eyes of the Desert is kind of wasted over there. This could be a throw. Bale Taurus kills Cetra. Cetra has the physical resist item or spell. But I do get the feeling that Boss Toss is kind of stuffed now. Infantry is sort of washed up. And outer region has more infantry coming in. Boss Toss is saving up for summons, but he might just be waiting for things to get back in the pool. See if things have routed off. Another Usirian's dive. It's so cheeky too. Outer Region's like awareness of his lords is so good. Like unlike me, Outer Region actually keeps his lords alive. I gotta give myself credit. In the second game, I didn't let my lord die, so I'm improving. Only one of my two games against him, I lost my lord. Yeah, I think this is pretty much over already. This death streak should have been summoned a long time ago, in my opinion. I mean, I guess there's a world where like the death streak kills Cetra, and then we summon durable infantry, and but I don't think there'll be enough time. All right, so Boss Toss finally decides that he needs these infantry here in the center. There's, I guess, better late than never. We still do have Infernal Guard. I think they're shooting the Eyes of the Desert, but Eyes of the Desert do have the missile resist, 25% missile resist. But I guess Outer Region is showing why at this point of the battle this is a mistake, because now Cetra is really happy to just be sitting in Chaos Warriors, right? It's or Dwarf Warriors. It's like his ideal. And as soon as the thing is cleared, Outer Region summons 4 Skeleton Horsemen. That's hilarious. This says I'm gonna capture it no matter what. But I think it says more about the state of the battlefield than it really says about Outer Region's decision making, because if you can afford to spend 1600 on Skeleton Horsemen, you've probably won. Um, yeah. So Outer Region really showing his form today. Um, Showing himself to be a really capable uh, undead player. So yeah, while we're still waiting, um, Bale Taurus Lord with the dives. Ooh, it's snowing outside. Oh, that's cool. Doesn't usually snow here. It's snowing fat, um, fat snows. This is mostly just diving on Cetra, I think, and diving on the Stalkers. Kind of makes me wonder. But Tim played against Berserk, and Berserk played Demons of Chaos versus Tomb Kings, and Berserk brought single entities, and he just dove the single entities on the expensive shooting pieces. It kind of feels like Boss Toss has done something similar here with the Bale Taurus Lord. It's like, yeah, you have a Sepulchral Stalker, that's fine. I'm just gonna jump my Bale Taurus on it with its humongous charge bonus, and decent stats and AP, and just basically do a ton of damage. Something to think about in the future. But yeah, so Death Streak, I think the biggest mistake is that Death Streak didn't come out sooner. Especially on this map with there's always a safe side on this map. And just look how much damage and just pressure it puts on Cetra. But I found this out the hard way from playing against Solasora in the last season finals. That the Death Streak is like pretty critical in this matchup. Is there any chance that he can do it? I don't think so. The time is too short. He doesn't even have this point that he's actually winning. So Cetra, I guess, did a lot of damage, but not a huge amount. So congrats to Outer Region advancing on to the semifinals. We'll get to see him on Turin stream. Chimbambu, yeah. Yeah, a good series. I appreciate these two sharing this with me. So Chosen of the Gods with 1800 and the Eyes of the Desert with 1600. The Skella Chaff did nothing as expected, but stood there. Nakara Warriors didn't do much either. Shopti were pretty good. and the chariot. I want to see the chariot. Chariot did 1K. That's really good for a chariot. And not only did it do 1K, it did 1K on the fire guard. The fire guard. The fire glaives. Burning head on the sorcerer prophet and its other things did a ton of damage. Like, just look at that. That's huge. And the train killed a lot of the chaff. It did pay for itself. Warriors didn't do much. Chaff didn't do much. And I think if there was one part of the build that felt very lackluster, it was these wolf raiders, because they're very expensive, 600, but they get hard countered by these ones. Although these ones didn't do much either. I think that has more to do with the map, honestly. But yeah, and then the secondary, the fire glaives had potential, but because they were in the secondary, most of the fighting was already done by the time that they got in, and they just kind of gave good targets to the chosen of the gods and the chariots. So probably from boss toss, the summon order is a little off. And then the Death Shriek did good value in the short period of time it was out. Although it would just die to the Ushapti summon, so you might say, like, maybe it's not right. But yeah, but no real anti-large from boss toss. I felt like the Cetra pick was just, there wasn't really good counters for it, and actually, like, this was kind of unusual to me, seeing the Chosen of the Gods, and I think Outer Region proved that it worked out pretty nicely. So anyways, GG to these two, and good luck to Outer Region in the finals. Shut noises. Magmas aren't bad here either. They wreck the Tomb King infantry and skirms. And the Hell Cannon is where the bread's at. Yeah. Hell Cannon. Hell Cannon is I would have to compare it in, like, single targeting. Is it any better than the Death Shriek? It's more expensive. I'd have to see if it makes more sense. But it does do more damage against like skirmishers and things like that. So probably pretty comparable, honestly. Okay, looking forward to turn stream now. Hell Cannon's good against all. Yeah, I wish I had brought it this tournament. But okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I don't think I have any I don't think I have any replays before. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any replays, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Definitely go check out Turin's stream for the final. Should be exciting. We have a good match. Personally, who is left? I guess I'll, before I do that, I'll just show the bracket. Let's see. Okay, so the bracket. Martin Elvio. So of the players left, we have 3 RTK players, because either Martin or Elvio both are in RTK. Solasora and Tim the Wilder are both in RTK. And then Outer Region. So of course my heart's got to be going out to Outer Region. I use that Elon Musk expression. I'm rooting for Outer Region, just because it's fun. But I think after Outer Region, maybe I'm rooting for maybe one of the underdogs, Martin or Elvio, or perhaps Tim, for, you know, the sake of him always coming in second and wanting Tim to be in first. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing the semis and the finals. So see you all in turn stream.